All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at Thinner on Blu-ray from Screen Factor, this nice collector's edition right here that I actually got in a couple of weeks early. I pre-ordered this from the Screen Factory website because right now, currently, this is going for $36.99 on Amazon, and on the Screen Factory site, it's $29.99. So I figured, what the hell? I ordered off the actual website, and I got this nice poster as well, in this nice little tub, and I got it in a couple weeks early. Like, usually you get your stuff in early from Screen Factory, but I don't remember ever getting my stuff in like 2 weeks early from Screen Factory. Usually it's like a week, maybe. So that was pretty cool. I got a chance to watch this today and get my early review out for this before it comes out on January the 23rd. So this is a movie, though, that I have been watching since I was a kid. I was probably 11 or 12 when I watched this movie. I read the book. I still got the book, I believe, back there that has this same image on it. What an iconic poster, though. I love the poster and the look of this. Just him like half face, you know, regular man, half face skeleton, because he's getting so thin. That's the story of the movie, guys. He's getting thinner as the movie goes. That's terrifying, right? But getting into the actual film itself, this is directed by Tom Holland, horror master himself, Tom Holland. He directed Fright Night, he directed Child's Play, so that dude has a hell of a filmography in the horror genre. He did Thinner in 1996, and I kind of feel like this movie gets a bad rap. I feel like people are a little bit too hard on Thinner. Now, growing up, I never really heard anybody talk or say anything bad about Thinner. Like, me and my sister used to watch this movie. We both thought it was super cool and kind of scary in some parts as well. Like, we both enjoyed the film, I remember when I was younger. But something happens like when you grow up and you start listening to other people's thoughts on movies, and then you get into the world of film criticism, it almost like it starts to change your mind on what you thought was a good movie and what you thought was a bad movie. I'm just kind of beyond all that now. Like, this movie has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do not think it deserves a 16% at all. Now, it has only been reviewed by like 25 people. But there's movies now that are way worse than this that get like a 60 or 70. And I know it's just, you know, it's a group. It's all the critics together, like, giving their scores. I understand what Rotten Tomatoes is, so don't try to explain it to me. But I just think that this movie, it's not bad. Like, is it top tier King? No. But it's not bottom tier either. It's not like The Langoliers or something like that. Like, this is actually a pretty competently made film, and I actually think it's pretty good. Like, I was kind of worried going into it, like, is this going to hold up like I remember? Because it's probably been at least 10-15 years since I seen the movie. I was worried that my childhood nostalgia, you know, would kind of lead me to believe that this movie was actually better than it was. And again, I'm not saying it's an all-time horror classic. Like, there's some problems here for sure, but I do think that this is a nice middle-tier Stephen King adaptation. So I actually enjoy this movie a lot. You know, it's the story of a corrupt lawyer played by Robert John Burke, who maybe my only criticism with the movie. I think he actually does a good job under the circumstances that I know he was under while making this movie, but he's way over the top with his performance. So I can understand people watching this and being like, oh man, that guy just really went for this and kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. But I do enjoy him in this movie. It might be nostalgia, but I can understand the criticism of him not being the best performer in this film. But he's a corrupt lawyer. He accidentally hits a gypsy lady, and her father puts a curse on him. And because he's overweight, he just says Thinner, and it causes him to lose weight rapidly until he would ultimately die. Now, whether or not he does, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but he's just losing weight rapidly. Day after day, he's weighing less. And at first, it's all well and good because he's losing weight. He's over 300 pounds. So it's like, hey, I lost 15 pounds. This is great. But when he starts getting down to like 140, 130, 120, that's when the problems kind of come into play. And he's very frail and he can barely move around. And that's kind of horrific, you know, when you think about it, to go from that happy moment of losing weight to that, like, oh my God, what's happening to me? Like, this is out of control. I'm going to die. I'm going to be erased, like he said. So it does go into that like body horror territory and actually handles that pretty effectively. I think this is a good movie. It's not top tier King. It's middle of the road King, but I enjoy it. Now, get into the Blu-ray picture quality here. This is a 2K scan, and the Olive Films release was also a 2K scan. So I don't think that Screen Factory did any additional work here. It wasn't said that this was a 4K scan or a new 2K scan or anything like that. So I just think that they used the same scan that was available to them for this release, but they did put it on a larger disc. So this is on a 50 gigabyte disc in the Olive Films release did have a 25 gig disc. So that could lead to a slightly better overall picture quality. But I thought this looked really good. And I mean, I remember watching this on VHS tape back in the day. I watched it on TV, so it's definitely the best I've ever seen the film. But yeah, up close shots looked really great. You saw the sweat running down his face. You know, just there's such great like makeup effects work in this movie. Like I say what you want about the actor in this film. I'm actually forgetting his name, right? Robert John Burke. Say what you want about the actor, but like he had to go through a lot to do this. Like he was they talk about it in the special features, but he was in the makeup chair for like hours a day, like putting on the bodysuit for when he was fat and then trying to lose weight, like maintain his weight. And then also he had to lose a few pounds when he got super thin. So the actor had to go through a lot in this role, but all that stuff looks great. And I thought overall this was a really nice looking Blu-ray. Now audio wise, you do have the 5.1 and the 2.0. I listened to this on the 5.1, thought everything sounded good to me. I mean, no real audio issues. This isn't a movie that really leans on the audio, but I'm listening to it on a soundbar with a subwoofer. Everything sounded great to me. No issues with the audio. Really enjoyed the score to this film, though. I think it's a really nice score, nice music in this film is what I'm trying to say. And getting into the packaging a little bit, I love this image. This is the classic poster of the film. This is the same as the poster of the movie, which I don't think there's anything wrong with using that image instead of newly commissioned artwork, but that was kind of the thing, right? With the Blu-ray special collector's editions, you had new commissioned artwork, and then when they switched to 4K, they started doing the original posters. So it looks like they're trying to, you know, ride both of those lines, because the Blu-ray was known for having the newly commissioned artwork, and then you flip it, and it's the old artwork, the old poster when you flip the artwork on the inside. This doesn't have reversible cover art, but I'll let it pass because I just love that original poster so much. And to be honest, I wouldn't want it to be any other image. Like all of Films has an image on theirs, and I don't think that works at all for this movie. But yeah, all the stuff on the back right there, I'll kind of scroll up, scroll through. You got special features, you got the casting list, you got all the specs down there at the bottom, some images from the film as well. Take this out. And you got the Blu-ray case, flip it on the back. I did an unboxing and a little short on the channel also, but you got some nice disc art. There's just a Blu-ray here. This isn't an eco case, so, you know, screen factor is a little cheap there. You know, we're paying $30 for that. I paid $30 for this release in an eco case. Come on, guys. This is what I get at the Dollar Tree. But it's not just Screen Factory. Other companies are doing that as well. But you do get some, you know, a nice image of him sitting on the bench on the inside. So no reversible cover art, but there is a nice image on the inside. So no real issues with the packaging here. I just wish that Screen Factory would be just a little bit more consistent with their releases. It's like some Blu-rays have slipcovers, some don't. Some have reversible cover art, some don't. Some of the 4Ks have slips, some don't. Some have reversible cover art. So it's like, it's just all over the place. It's like, give me some consistency. Like, I'm pretty sure the remake of The Shining that's getting ready to come out does not have a slipcover. And it's like, what the hell? It's like, I would want that to have a nice slipcover, and it would match with this in my Stephen King collection. But let's get into the real reason why you should get this over that Olive Films release. And the main reason is this thing is jam-packed, loaded with special features. You have two brand new audio commentaries here. You have an audio commentary with Mitchell Galen and actor Joe Mantegna, I think is how you pronounce that. You also have a new audio commentary with film critic historian Lee Gambin and novelist Aaron Dries. You also have a past commentary with the director Tom Holland as well. You have three new special features. They're all pretty lengthy, about 15, 16, 17 minutes. And so totaling about 50 minutes of new special features and interviews here. You have new Weight of the World interview with director Tom Holland. And I'll just say it right now, like, this is one of the best like interviews, special features wise, that I have seen in quite some time. I absolutely loved this interview with Tom Holland. He seems so genuine and sincere about his time working on this film. The thing that really got me with that interview is that, like, he really could not understand why this movie was so poorly received critically when it came out. It was like he just couldn't get it. He's like, I thought I made a great movie and I don't get why people didn't like it. So you could, it's older Tom Holland. He's about 80 years old. I'm not talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about the director of Fright Night and Child's Play. He's about 80 years old right now, and you can just tell he doesn't care anymore. He's just going to say what he wants. But these were excellent special features across the board, but I thought that interview with Tom Holland was just spectacular, just excellent. There's also an interview with the actress that plays his wife in this movie. Lucinda Jenny, which I didn't know that she was actually Bill Moseley's wife in real life. I thought that was pretty cool. She kind of just casually drops that in the middle of her interview, but really good interview with her. She was kind of talking about her character, and I thought it was interesting because growing up, I always just figured that his wife was actually cheating on him, and she probably is, because that's the way the film portrays it. But going back and watching the movie, I'm like, there's no real evidence that she ever cheats on her husband in the film. And she talks about that in the special feature. And when she said that, I was like, you're kind of right. It is possible that, because there's some moments where you're thinking to yourself, like, it really seems like she cares about him a lot. And it's like, how could she really care about him and also cheat on him at the same time? So I thought that was a really good interview that kind of just opened my eyes to the film when I watched it. And then there was also an interview, The Incredible Shrinking Man, with the special makeup effects artist Vincent Gustini, which that's the real highlight of this movie. Like, the makeup effects are just spectacular in this, and they look great on this Blu-ray. So I'd say, like, and there's also a past making of as well, vintage featurette, the magic of special effects makeup, theatrical trailer, TV spots, still galleries, all the works, all the stuff that you would usually get on this. But I just thought it was really awesome and really made this, I feel like, worth it to pick up if you already do own that Olive Films release. You got 50 minutes of brand new special features and content. You got 2 brand new audio commentaries. So look, at the end of the day, guys, for $29.99, I would recommend going to the Screen Factor website, not Amazon right now, because it's too much on there. I do recommend picking this up. I actually think it's a really solid release with some great special features. That interview with Tom Holland was just absolutely spectacular. So look, guys, that's my review of Thinner. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.